Hello, everybody. Let's go ahead and get started with a love reading for you. All right, Spirit, let's see. Ooh, deception. Okay, someone here is wearing a false self mask. So that can go a few different ways. Okay, deception doesn't always have to be like the original meaning of it. It can also be about that false self mask. It could be, someone here trying to deceive themselves into pretending, acting like everything is okay, acting like, they've moved on, everything is good. But really, in all actuality, deep down inside, they're hurting and they're, beating themselves up over the scenario. But for some of you, maybe you think that this person has moved on. That's what I'm getting out of this. I feel like it's that story of like feeling like somebody has moved on. And it could have very well been from a third party situation, because something or someone else got into the mix. It could have even been what got into the mix was just a difference of beliefs. We have religious factors. It says your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. For some of you, maybe this is just too much of a difference of beliefs, It's going to be different. I feel like for a lot of you, you could have found out that this person, maybe they lied about like the type of family they came from or, the type of background that they had. And you're just like, wow, that's only going to be for a small few of you. Spirit, please show me the collective and their love life. Okay. So we've got very soon, clearly decide what you want so that it can come to you. Okay. That's weird. Even though this person sees so much of a difference, maybe in the past, you thought you could get over this. You thought that this wouldn't be a big deal, and it became a big deal. The whatever this difference is between the two of you. Sometimes we can say, because we love that person that, actually I can overlook that, or, I can't. And then there's just certain things when you actually take yourself out of it, you're like, actually I can't. That actually really means something to me. And, and it's not negotiable. And I feel that's kind of what I'm getting here. And hopefully that makes sense to you guys. Hopefully I'm relaying the message just right. So, this is about getting advice, let your friends help you. This could be about getting advice because maybe for some of you, maybe they can see through, maybe they can see something. Or for some of you, maybe your friends deceived you, maybe your friends, because it does sit right underneath the deception. And for others of you, this could be you're deceiving yourself saying that, oh, we could just be friends. I just want to be friends. But deep down inside, that's not possible. Center of the reading, engagement. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. Past life relationship. You have known each other before. Codependency. Your love life is addictions are affecting your romantic life. Ooh. Children. Your love life is being affected by children. This one landed face down on the floor. I'm going to put it back in if it wants. Ooh, there it is. And finances and career. And chemistry. There's a strong magnetic attraction here. Even though I feel like there's someone here who has a lot of responsibility. They could have their, a prior, or a family. They could have, they just got a lot of things that are vying for what they need. And I feel like what I'm getting here is someone who, it's almost like I can't have this until I've completed all of these tasks. With the finances and career here, until I have done this checklists of I've done this, I've done this, I've done this, I've done this, and I've done this, I can't have this. I can't allow this relationship to go any further. I can't engage in it any further. Even though I have a lot of chemistry, I can't engage in this any further until I've done all this other stuff. Okay? Because this person is relying on me, and this person is relying on me, and my kids are relying on me, and the people at work are relying on me, and everything is relying on just this. And Spirit's like, but this is a true blue relationship. And there's a lot of chemistry. You had a lot of chemistry. You have for this person. You know? And yeah, I think in the past there was a reconciliation between, I think the two of you guys were brought together to learn something here. You know, this is about learning lessons, because it does talk about it being a past life relationship. You have known each other before. And it's almost like that's what it is. It's like, you know, maybe you guys keep being drawn together. That's what the magnets do, right? They draw each other together, and you guys are being drawn together to get it right this time. And then everything gets in the way. Your friends get in the way, because everything is dependent on you. Your children are in the way, your coworkers, your boss, or your business, or whatever it is. Everything is in the way of really bringing this together. And it's like, it snuffed this out. That's what I'm seeing here, is it snuffs it out, because it's like everything, you know? It's kind of sad, because I look around the wheel of the astrology, and it's like, you know, your self-care gets in the way, you know, your diet gets in the way. It's like, you know, when you try to get together with somebody and then like they're vegan and you're not, you're carnivore diet or whatever, because everybody has these new fucking diets and everybody's doing this new fucking shit with their food. And it's like, so now you're in a relationship where you enjoy cooking, but now like this person won't eat your food because they don't like it, but yet you don't like that, you know? So now you're like at this weird crossroads, and it's like, you know, nobody's going to give on that. And then, so not only is your food in the way, but then, you know, you go third house and, oh, your cousins and your siblings need you right now, and they're in the way, you know, and then your mom, you know, calls and gets in the way, and you got to do some stuff at the house. And it's like, every time you turn around, there's something else in the way. And it's like, that's what I'm seeing here, because surrounding the engagement card, where your love life should have been ascending to a higher level of commitment like this talks about. Instead, there's the deception that's in the way. The religious factors are in the way. Somebody being indecisive that's in the way with the very soon, not wanting to make a decision. Then the friends get in the way. And then the addictions get in the way. And then the children get in the way. And then the work gets in the way. And I just see this really fantastic fucking relationship of these two people who are supposed to be together, because they didn't actually make it this far in a past life and are here to try and make it. And that's why they're being brought together, and they're not able to do it. They're not able to. Because one person, and it could be both of them. You know, it could be both of them. It doesn't even have to be one person. And it's like, and that's when the third party gets in the way. 1, 2, 3. And then all you end up being is just a friends with benefits situation, because like you can only see each other when the time is right. And then it's just a lot of passion, and then it fizzles out, and it's a lot of, and instead of this person, I don't see love here. I see somebody who is passionate. I see her as passionate and yearning to be loved. It's almost like she's cried about it. I almost see her as like crying. Like real tears of like, I just want to be loved. And, maybe in the past, she's talked to, you've talked to this masculine about that, or, um, you've sat down and you've had this conversation where you're just like, and it's like, instead of him feeding his energy into her, and this could go vice versa, it always can, but it was fed into everything but her. She was like out here, like, these cards are, she's like all the way out here, and all the other cards are right here in this circle. So everything else, and she's just off on the side, because that's really the only place I actually see her, and I see her yearning. She ends up by herself, like, not that she's by herself and she's like, oh, poor me, woe is me, but she's looking back and she's like, wow, like, I feel like she poured her heart out to this person, and then he still deceived her. I mean, she's out hanging out with friends. It's not like she's sitting around dwelling, crying. I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing her, I mean, there's a side of her, that if you think that it didn't hurt, it did. But she had to be like, I see her wearing this mask and just being like a spiritual warrior, she's just looking out to the future, and she's just like, life goes on. Because I see all this in the past, and she's turning it, and it has everything to do with her belief system. And she's like, my belief system says that if I want something, that I have to clearly decide, and I'm making a decision. And because of that, I'm going to move on. I'm going to move on. I'm going to just hang out with my friends, and I'm going to, establish like more intimacy in my friendship groups, and, be there more, not so disconnected. And, spend more time with, if they have children, or spend more time with children. I do see children here that, maybe need her at this time. Other people, and her work. So right now, I don't see a relationship coming together. I'll give you that. What I see here is someone who is coming to the conclusion that they're ready to open themselves up to a new relationship. It's not saying who. It's just saying, like, it's almost like you're learning this big lesson, and it's almost like this very internal experience right now. And it's a lot of things that are like, I feel like Scorpio season kind of drudged these things up, and it's like a person's perspective. It could be both of their perspectives on how this went down, Interesting. So what is the advice for this, Spirit? What is the advice? Well, this one landed face up, and it says, why? Like, why? So it does, 31, it's like maybe on the 31st of the month. That could be important. You could have been born on the 31st. But the why is like what I'm talking about here. This is her like sitting back, questioning, looking at everything that happened. I see like the question marks here. I don't know if you can see that with the glare, but there's question marks here. She's like, why did this happen the way that it did? Like, what was I supposed to learn from it? So I get this whole like learning the lessons, like, doing the research, learning the lessons, trying to understand why things went down the way they did. I feel like it's a very important lesson, so that when these move on, when these two move on, whoever learned the lesson, because sometimes one person will always jump into another relationship, and the other one will actually take the time out and be single so that they can learn the lesson, so that they don't have to repeat it in the next cycle. And then the relationships actually get better and better as you go when you do that. Otherwise, you keep ending up with the same situation, just different player in the game. So that's why I'm like, jump ship when you get the first sign, just to be willing to sacrifice it. And if this person continues to overstep your boundaries, then you know what needs to be done. And you have to make that decision so that you can, and so that you can actually get what it is that you want, you know? Number 31. Let's read the relationship message on that. It says, we don't always know why we engage in our relationships the way we do, mostly because our feelings aren't always logical. Now is the time to recognize whether you are being triggered by someone else or if your behavior is motivated by unresolved issues from the past. When you ask yourself, why am I feeling like this and why did I say that, and spend some time in introspection, the answers may be surprising. Listening to the messages from your intuition, from the knowing deep within you. What does it tell you about yourself and others? In the end, life is about being loved. Miracles and a deep understanding of your needs and how to get them met are the buried treasures of the why. Uncover them by posing the most powerful question you can ask yourself and your partner today, for those of you who have one. Or are thinking of someone or talking to someone. Why? You know? I feel like it is important for you guys to also nurture the bonds of friendship in a relationship as well. And I feel like for a lot of you, this person wasn't even your friend. They didn't even act like your friend, you know? I had to look at this last relationship that I was in and I thought to myself, like, why? Why am I even going to get myself so worked up over something like this? Like, we haven't been together long enough for me to even have, like, a tear. Like, no, you know? And the moment that I did that, the moment that I was like, I'm not going to get myself all worked up over somebody that didn't even take the time out to get to know me. And, you know, when I was very transparent, there was this deception, and for me, I'm a firm believer in being willing to sacrifice it, because if you're willing to sacrifice it, you show the universe, like, this actually doesn't work for me. I deserve more. The universe goes, all right, you're willing to make that sacrifice? Okay, then. And either this person will step up to the fucking plate and actually be the person that they were supposed to be, if it's not already too late and there's a bunch of fucking water under the bridge. But that's why we go back to this forgiving and learning the lesson. It just really depends on whether or not that can be done. And it might take years to happen, or you learn the lesson and the universe goes, all right then. And they send in the fucking real one, and the one that's like the cash cow. And I don't mean that like in a material way, but you know what I'm saying. Cows are very revered as something that of abundance, because you can utilize almost every single piece of the cow. That's why in other countries, they're actually sacred, right? So that's what I'm talking about here. Treating your relationships as if they're sacred, and if there is something that you're yearning for and you're not getting it in a certain area, quit trying to go back to that area, because that's what I'm getting here. Because if you're willing to do that, you're going to graduate. That's what this ascension process is you graduating out of that past life lesson that you have been so consumed in having to learn in all the relationships up to this point. Up to this point. And maybe for some of you, it was a codependency issue. They're either codependent on you or you on them, or vice versa. And it's like, being together but separate, having that, togetherness but also separateness. But also when you're doing the separateness, it's because you feel safe and secure in the relationship, because that other party has made you feel safe and secure. They've told you where you stand in that relationship. They don't leave you hanging. They don't leave you in a place of question. Well, is there other people? Are you talking to someone else while they're pretending that they're with you? We're too old for this shit. And honestly, after everything that we've been through in the last few years, that shit's beneath you. That's beneath you. Like, and you got to have more respect for yourself and say, you know what? I would rather be single than do all this. And especially for those of you who have children, because what you're doing is you're teaching your children that this is okay for mommies and daddies to treat each other this way. And, or, some Tom, Dick, or Harry who comes in and can treat you like crap in front of your kids, and your kids are picking up on those cues. Be a parent that your kids can have respect for. I walked away at 24 years old with 3 babies in car seats because of the deception and the abuse and everything else. Don't fucking tell me you can't do it, because I didn't have a job, hadn't worked in 6 years, and was a stay-at-home housewife and mother, and didn't even have a diploma when that actually mattered. That shit don't matter anymore. So this one is definitely a lesson, and I hope you guys got this far. I hope you guys take this into consideration, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know how this resonates with you. But this is about learning the lessons, okay? The why. The why is because whatever is going on here, this is stuff that you didn't overcome in a past life, and you're being gifted an opportunity to go back in. I just heard, put me in, coach. Go back in and try to make it right the next time around. Even if it is with another soul, it does not have to be with the same person it was before. It's learning the lesson from that one and then manifesting someone else in. But in the meantime, I just see someone here putting her nose to the grindstone and working her ass off. I really like this message for you guys today. Definitely a different one. It is the last day of Scorpio, so it wanted to get really deep and intense. And hopefully it did, and you guys learned something. I love you guys all so much. Check me out on Facebook and Instagram. It's still the Footsteps to Peace on Facebook and Instagram, just so you guys know, newbies that are here. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you all for your support. I am going to be running a buy one, get one half off sale on my website. I just haven't put it up yet. It's my annual sale, so I do hope you guys will, take advantage of that. You can buy one for yourself, buy one for, and the half off for a friend. You can keep them both for yourself for the future. They do have an expiration date, so you will have to get them used up. But it is definitely worth it this time around. So anyway, you guys, I love you all so much, and I will chat with you again soon. Take care.